Hello, my beautiful warriors, caregivers, and friends. Welcome to Two Hearts, One Journey. It's a conversation between mother and daughter, caregiver and lupus warrior, and advocate and supporter.
I'm Jade, Plessis, daughter, caregiver, and proud supporter of my mom, Suzie Eaglesflight, a lupus warrior and fierce advocate for people living with lupus.
I am Suzie, lupus warrior, artist, founder of Lupus South Africa, and board member of Andrea's Gift. Together, Jade and I are sharing our story, the love, the pain, the laughter, the lesson, and how we fight battle in hand.
This podcast is for anyone touched by chronic illness, whether you have lupus, or whether you're caring for someone with lupus, or simply looking for hope and connection.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and join us for an honest, heartwarming conversation. Let's get into it. What was it like for you when you heard the first time that I have lupus?
So you were diagnosed when I was about 7. So I was very young, so I don't have much memory of that. And even a little bit after that, I don't have much memory. And with the understanding that I had as a little kid, I just kind of knew it as a fact. And to me, he didn't really seem sick, but I guess it's why they call it the invisible disease. And but yeah, as I got older and as your lupus got more severe, there were new symptoms, new diagnoses. So with each time that happened, it was kind of a new realization for me that what was going on with you. And that was kind of a little bit of a shock each time. And of course, as your lupus got worse. But I'm grateful for the gradual realization that this is what lupus is, this is what it does. Because if I was much older, now even if I was this age, and I learned all at once how severe it can get, or that you had severe lupus now, it would have come as a huge shock. So I'm very grateful for the gradual realization, because you don't want to lose your mom, and that's very shocking. It's emotional. You don't want to deal with that or even think it's a possibility. But I think growing up with it, you just kind of accept it, realize, oh, okay. So it's shocking as it goes on, but not as shocking as if it was all at once. Yeah.
How did your role as caregiver begin? Was it gradual or was it all at once?
So it definitely happened gradually. Referring to my previous answer, the older I got, the more I understood and the more I could step in and help and actually know what to do, as our whole family was constantly learning about it. So yeah, it was definitely gradual.
What is a typical day like for you as a caregiver?
So I have a son, and he goes to kindergarten. So I would wake up, get him ready, get myself ready, take him to school, come back home. And as soon as you're ready to get up, then I would come and assist you, help you with whatever you need, if it's making the bed that day, if it's helping you get dressed, if it's making you breakfast, or whatever you need assistance with, then I would help you with. It's difficult for me to answer this question because I think, okay, well, what do I do that is considered caregiving? Because I care for you, you're my mom. So what do? I would obviously help you if you're struggling with something, whether or not you had lupus. So what is it that I do that is considered caregiving? But I guess, all the things that someone would do for your mom if they weren't able to. But in your case, you have bad days of lupus and then again good days. So it depends on the day too and on how you're feeling. Sometimes I'd help more with all the little things. Sometimes it's just with big things like big projects, because you're okay enough to do all the little other things, whether it's making appointments, whether it's driving to the doctor. It all depends on the day. Cooking, if you need help with the house or whatever it is, I try my best to just take over those things so that your body doesn't go in a flare or struggle. So those types of things is what I would say is my typical day of caregiving. I don't know how to answer that question.
What is the hardest part emotionally of taking care of someone with a chronic illness?
So the hardest part for me is definitely that you're my mom. You're not just someone I'm caring for, that it's not related to me or it's my job. You're my mom. And seeing what you go through and also realizing that things can get very ugly very quickly. Today you might be fine, tomorrow we might lose you. I think that's the hardest part emotionally, just realizing, you know, how difficult you have it, and I always just want to come and fix it for you, but lupus isn't fixable, it's not curable, there's no quick fix, there's always this plan to get you to a better place, which is also stressful because you're hoping that eventually it works, and you have to stick through it to see if it does, and if it doesn't, you have to start all over again with something else. So I think just witnessing what you go through, because you're my mom, and I'm realizing that today you can be completely fine, tomorrow you might be gone. That's the most difficult part emotionally about it.
How has this journey changed you as a daughter, a woman, and a mother yourself?
As a daughter, or even just a child to someone with lupus, it makes you grow up a bit faster. I always felt like I realized the hardships of life a little bit before my peers. It also strengthened the relationship between me and you and Dad, because you got no choice but to act as a team to make sure that you're okay. So as a daughter, I think it's a good thing, I think, but it leaves no space for immaturity or selfishness, or, you know, all those teenage feelings that you might feel. I think, and I truly am grateful for that. And as a woman, well, let me start off by saying you have been through a lot, and you have come close to not being with us anymore quite a few times. So witnessing your strength and your resilience, and how much you fight through the battle no matter what, and how you are there for other people no matter what you're feeling, or how much you can actually endure, has set a very high standard for me and an example for me of what I need to be or achieve, and what I want to be and achieve. Just setting that standard, that highest standard in life of what a woman can do or achieve or be. It has also given me the confidence that I know I can help people who are in need, and also the realization that other people actually need help as well. Again, referring to Nana, the realization there's no space for selfishness. So I'm very grateful for that. I learned through the years I can very quickly react and help without thinking twice. I'm good in an emergency, which is good. It taught me how to act now, think later. I don't think our family had much of a choice when it came to these sudden situations. I know that if any emergency situation happens, I know I would be able to handle it correctly and well. And as a mother, like I said, it's given me strength. And when I became a mother, I knew how to care, how to proactively care and take initiative. And as any mother would know, you don't always know what to do, but somehow you do it. And I trust that part of myself now, because during your journey, your lupus journey, we didn't always know what to do, but somehow we're sitting here today, and that's a miracle in itself. But we're here and we did it, and you did it. It has given me a lot of confidence in knowing that I'm capable of caring for someone. It has also taught me the value of life, and that I can actually make a difference in other people's lives. And I really want to pass that down to my kid.
How do you take care of your own mental and physical health while looking after me?
Well, I'm not a very good carer for myself, as you know. I'm way better at caring for other people than I am of myself, and I think that also comes with being a mom, and that is something I'm constantly working at. I think I've gotten a little bit better, but I don't always get it right. But one thing I do not go a day without is talking to God, having my me time, scrolling even for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, playing a little game on my phone, sitting outside with a cup of coffee, talking to God, having a swim. I guess that also helps with the physical health part. My son loves to swim, so that helps me. And I should take better care of myself, both mentally and physically. But as of right now, I guess just talking to God every day and getting some sort of physical exercise in.
Do you ever feel guilt or pressure to do more, and how do you deal with that?
So I don't necessarily feel pressured to do more, but I do feel a responsibility to do more, and not in the sense where someone forces it onto me, but as I said earlier, I just want to fix everything. And because lupus is unfixable or uncurable, I can do as much as humanly possible and you still won't get cured, which then makes me feel, oh gosh, I wish I could do more. And you're my mom, so I want to take on that responsibility. I don't think I would trust anyone else with that responsibility to help you and to do more as much as I can. So yeah, I guess because lupus is incurable, nothing will ever be enough to help. But it's only because I care and love you.
What advice can you give other caregivers, or especially those like young women, daughters in the same position you are?
I would say educate yourself, learn as much as you can about lupus, its symptoms, treatments, its flares, so you have a better understanding of how you can help and then help accordingly. While also keeping in mind that not everybody's journey with lupus is the same. Everyone's different. So when you do learn about something, just keep that in mind. It's all about trial and error. If something happens and you feel you failed as a caregiver, don't view it as a failure, rather view it as an opportunity to learn and then do better next time. Because a lot of guilt can come with this too. And just remember that you are indeed trying your best, your absolute best, with the knowledge that you have, which is why I say just educate yourself as much as you can, and also never stop learning, because new things get discovered, new treatments, new symptoms. So yeah, definitely educate yourself and take initiative while caring for whoever you're caring for. Be proactive. Because a lot of lupus warriors can feel a sense of guilt that they might be a burden to whoever's caring for them. So if you take initiative or proactive care, then they won't even have to think about asking you to do something. It's already done. And then they will feel like, oh, they're not actually a burden to the carer. They are actually just loved by the carer. Because guilt and all that stressful emotions can cause a flare, which again, you don't want. So that's why I always preach about this. Be proactive, take initiative, don't let them feel guilty, don't make them think that they are some burden. It'll just cause them to flare and probably might even go into depression. I know you don't struggle with depression, but many lupus warriors do. I would say offer with daily tasks, the simplest things, as in pouring a glass of water or tying their shoes or making their bed. The absolute simplest things is usually what helps the most. And you know, talking about burdens, it lessens the burden for them, because they're fighting, you're fighting all day just to stay alive most days. So the littlest things can mean the absolute most to you, and to us it's like whatever. So exactly, we can help with those whatever things to lessen the burden for you. But at the same time, not taking your independence away, because a lot of the time I would think, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, because I'm scared you flare or you push your body into the red. And I'm like, no. But then at the same time, I must remember you have your own independence, your own will, and you also want to feel like you have a purpose, you're able to do things, you're not just some warrior in the bed or not being able to do anything for themselves the whole day. You don't want to feel like that. You want to feel like you have purpose and are able. And carers shouldn't take that away, even though if you by accidentally do that, it's out of care and love. But just to be mindful of that. Give a lot of reassurance to the lupus warrior that you're caring for. As I said, a lot of guilt can come from having lupus. Listen instead of just trying to fix. Like me, I try to fix everything. So rather listen and know when you can offer advice or offer help or learn, learn whether now you should just listen, they just want to vent or just get their frustrations out, and learn when you can, when it's comfortable for them, for you to now try and fix something, and not to always just control everything. Don't try to control everything. Learn, and then also be their advocate. If they go to the doctor, if they don't tell the doctor a symptom, be their advocate, because lupus patients can so often feel like the outside world thinks they're not sick, they pretending, because they don't look sick, and that's the truth. They don't look sick. That's why lupus is called the invisible disease. But you know what they go through because you experiencing it most of the time. So be their advocate, stand up for them, because sometimes they don't even have the energy to stand up for themselves. Stand up for them. Do appointments. If it's not doctors, then nail appointments, spa appointments. They probably don't have the energy or the fight to deal with someone, especially if they're arrogant or something like that. But just be their advocate, care, be proactive, all these things. Just take responsibility.
What do you wish people would understand better about caregiving?
I think I would say that we are doing our best. We are not a normal household. We sometimes have to cancel plans last minute. As I said, yesterday or even the whole week you could be fine. Tomorrow it's a different story, and tomorrow were the plans. So sometimes we do have to cancel last minute. Sometimes we take long to reply to messages. Sometimes our household runs way differently than what other people's households would run, and to them it would make no sense, and we know it doesn't make sense to them, but that's how it works to make sure that you're being cared for and are the most comfortable in your household to prevent a flare or getting more sick, or sometimes new symptoms arise, meaning we have to change our routines during the day to make sure that we treat that symptom. And it sounds so weird to other people, but that's the truth. And I'm pretty sure every lupus household can understand this. Not everyone understands, but we know they don't understand. We know. It's fine. You can think we're weird. We're completely fine with that. Just leave it. I just wish that they would know that we're doing our best, and we do have to do things differently. Another thing I wish other people would understand is when you're a caregiver, just because you're the one that doesn't have lupus doesn't mean it doesn't affect you as well. If I had to cancel on friends, without you and Dad even coming, it wasn't like a family event where the family would understand that we can't come because you're maybe not feeling well that day. Because I'm a carer and I care for you, if I have to cancel plans, they might not understand because, well, you don't have lupus. I know, but that's not the point. There's a whole big other point, And I get a lot of support because I have you and Dad and our family. But I don't think that's the case for every other carer. So I wish other people would also just realize that carers need support and love and care too. And every now and then check in, a little phone call, a message, a grocery trip, cook me mac and cheese for the night, just one night out of once a month, just whatever, just a little something just to know that someone cares for me too. And like I said, that's not the case for me, but I don't think every other carer gets that, and I can think it's a very lonely place to be in. If I was in their shoes and no one cared for me, if I'm doing all the caring, I wouldn't be very happy. No one's pouring into me, but I'm pouring all of me into someone else. It's lonely, I think. So, it's my turn to interview my beautiful mom. And this is part 2, which is called the Lupus Warrior's Voice. So we're going to start off with the topic, diagnosis and impact. Okay, Suzie Eaglesflight. When were you first diagnosed with lupus, and what were those early days like?
I was diagnosed in 2005, but it was a huge struggle to get to the diagnosis eventually. And then also, there was no lupus organization or support organization in South Africa at that point in time. So I felt very alone and very confused, even though I am a medical professional and I felt confused by lupus. So I can just imagine what other people are struggling with when they get diagnosed, because they have no clue what this is. Yeah. So that's why I started the organization, because of those early on alone, feeling confused, stressed out. The Arthritis Foundation is just it's existed, but they were not really doing something specifically for lupus.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face daily living with lupus?
I think the pain, first of all, I think all of us will say the pain, and then the fatigue. because I am a very busy person and I want to be busy, and then that fatigue is so bad at stages that actually I cannot do anything, and it frustrates me and I feel so guilty. You know, it's the whole bad cycle. And then every time that you have a severe flare and you get so ill that you know at any point in time you can die now. You basically feel that way. That is very traumatic. And then you get PTSD, and then every time you get ill, that PTSD feels like it's going to be at the same time. I'm going to be that ill. And I think that's the worst of lupus, basically, for me only.
Yeah. So the next topic we're going to talk about is the mother-daughter relationship. How does having me as a caregiver affect you emotionally and practically?
I think emotionally, it's easier for you if your caregiver is someone from your family or even from your household. Because that person knows you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, you know, and you don't have to, because I think if it was an outside caregiver, it would be difficult for you because you would not be able to just be yourself and ask the questions and what have you. And practically, I mean, you live with me. That's basically what makes it so much easier. Because you are here during the night, and we have a walkie-talkie system. So if I'm ill during the night, or if I don't feel well or anything, and I can call you because Dad sleeps like a log. He sleeps like a log.
Yeah.
So I have, having you close by with me is practically better. And then emotionally, because I don't think I would have the openness or would be so close to a caregiver that is not my family.
Yeah, from the outside. And that trust that you build with them, or me, to trust that whatever you say will be received or listened to, or I think that's also a pretty, I'm grateful for that. Just if I had to know you have someone from the outside, I wouldn't trust them with you. Exactly. So how can you trust yourself? Well, you maybe, but I wouldn't trust them with you.
No.
What do you admire most about me in this role?
I think it is nothing is ever too much. You will do anything you possibly can. You don't get angry at me, even if I ask you something 100 times, you just do it. Your patience with me, not with other people, with me, is very good.
That's true.
But with me, you have so much patience. And I think the type of person you are, because you want me to do better. You want me to have everything that I possibly can, and you will make sure that everybody else looks after me if you're not here. And they have a to-do list. So I think that patience you have, the love that you show in everything you do for me, it's never an issue. You don't ever get angry with me. And I think I can sit here the whole day and talk about you, but that's the most important part. I don't think other people realize, about you, is that that care. It's never too much. You're never angry. Even if I wake you up 4 o'clock in the morning and ask you for help, it's fine. I'm coming. And then you fall asleep again. Jade, you coming? Yeah. And when I'm very ill, I think you have so much qualities. I can sit here the whole day, but those are the basic things that we as lupus warriors need. Is don't get angry at us, have patience with us, show love when you take care of us. Because people don't realize how guilty we do feel if we are ill.
Earlier you asked me what advice I'd give to other carers. I think one of them would be put yourself in their shoes. The carer should put themselves in the lupus patient's shoes. Because if I was you, I would want whatever I'm doing for you. That's what I want. So, I mean, then it's obvious what you should do. I mean, even if you're not a pro degree caregiver getting paid, you don't really have to be that. Yes, obviously you don't have the medical knowledge, but I think you do learn a lot going along with the journey. But I mean, if I was you, I would want whatever I'm giving you, so I make sure to do that, because one day if I am in that situation, you know, I don't want someone to treat me like how some carers treat their lupus patients, and that's what makes me so angry too. Just put yourself in their shoes. How do you think they must feel? It's terrible. Okay, the next topic we're going to talk about is strength and identity. So how do you stay strong and positive even on the toughest of days?
I think, you know, lupus as a disease can get you to dark places. It can get to cause you to get depression, anxiety, all those things. And I think I don't struggle with depression, so, you know, I always try to put myself in those people's shoes. And I think, you know, one basic thing that I do, I don't know if other people would help other people, but I stay positive. I deal with positive things. I try to make my brain positive always. It doesn't always work. You do get down, but you know, what you put in the body is what you'll get out. So with the food, the things I read, the programs I watch, everything in those times that I'm very ill, I'm strict with myself to stay positive, because I know, and if I get this little bit negative, it can cause me to die. Because I need to stay positive to enable me to eat the best food, you know, and do a little exercise or whatever I possibly can to make my body stay positive, so that I don't go into the negative and then slide down into that dark place. It's very important to me.
Gosh, and you work really hard on that.
You do. Important to me, really.
As I said, I don't know how you do it, because again, I imagine myself in your shoes, and I don't know how you do it.
God's grace, I must tell you, that is just God, because I can't believe it myself.
Exactly. Has lupus changed the way you view yourself as a mother, leader, and woman?
Yeah, it has, because I mean, obviously I didn't see myself as this person before I got lupus. It was the last thing on my mind. It was something that I would never have. So I had have thought about. I had this wonderful career, you know, planned out for myself, a business planned out for myself, and here comes this disease 3 months after I got married. And it changed my whole way of thinking. And I just, you know, I didn't even, some days it's hard to see myself as a woman, first of all, because there's a big problem, like that is also partly my caregiver, you know, not really, but you know, he also takes care of me. So it could destroy you as a woman if that happens and your partner now see you as a disabled person. He doesn't see you as a woman. Or I think Dad is very well into that, because he's always tells me what I need to hear. I think that is very important, that you still see that you are a woman, you are beautiful, you know, you are loved, you are cared for. It's a lot of things, and with lupus that can easily go away. And then a mother, I think, you know, and I've also just asked the three of you whether you felt at any point in time that I wasn't there because I couldn't physically be in your lives all the time and be there. And I think, you know, it's very important to think about like that. And when I actually spoke to you about it, you said, you know, you could never in my life ever remember me not being there. It was just a thing that there would be certain things that I won't be there for.
Yeah.
And the other things, emotionally, I was there all the time.
100%.
And emotionally, even though you had to be with me in my room, in my bed, you felt loved, you felt cared for. And if I couldn't be at a place, I always made sure that somebody else was there for you.
Yes.
And then afterwards, speak about it, and so that you never felt that I didn't care for you.
100%,
It's very important to make sure that somebody else is there in that part of your life, so you feel cared for, and then on an emotional level, be more than a parent in that stage. Give more emotionally because you aren't there for all the other things. I think that's very important, because that is the only thing you can give. I mean, you're in a bed, you're ill, you can't go places, you don't have that quality of life. So it's very important that you build that emotional contact with your child so that they don't feel the way, they're not cared for. And then as a leader, I really think, I never saw myself as a leader at all. It wasn't in my plan for myself. I had this career, and this is the way I'm going to go. And I never see myself as leading a foundation or organization, Lupus in South Africa. So it's very hard to explain, what would I have seen myself as a leader? I didn't. But now I am in that position, and I've taken it on. It was an idea that, because I felt alone and I didn't feel there was anybody for me, I didn't want any other person that would be diagnosed with lupus ever felt that way.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only thing why I started the organization in 2005, is because I didn't want any other person diagnosed with lupus ever to feel that way.
Yeah. It's a testament to your heart too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next topic is your message to others. So one of the questions are, what would you want to say to other lupus warriors listening to this podcast?
Having lupus is not easy. It takes hard work to basically stay alive when you have lupus. But I always say, celebrate the good days. Give your body the time it needs to recover on the bad days. It's okay not to be okay. Scream, cry, do what you need to do, but the next morning, stand up, pick up your crown and fight again, because that's the only thing that works for me. You have to fight back. You cannot give lupus this much in your life and it will take over. So, fight back. That's the only thing I can say.
What helps you feel most supported and loved?
Being cared for is what means the most to me. Somebody that your people around you, your most important people in your life, understand what you're going through, and then, doing things for you to help you. I think, taking care of me, sorting my medication out, cooking for me, just being there for me with a chat. I think that's the most important thing, that I feel love from you. I think with Dad, it's quite a different thing. I feel love because, we don't necessarily phone each other during the day, but if he speaks to you during the day, he would ask you, how am I doing? What, I had such a bad night last night, what have you. And then also, he comes into the room and then he speaks to me. He always, when I shower, he's there in case I fall, what have you. Because I cannot necessarily, I'm not okay all of the time. So when we spend time together, we lay in the bed and watch a movie. I think that he also always makes sure that he's there for me. And, we're a type of marriage where we don't have to spend 100% of time together. So he'll do his thing and then he'll come and sit with me and, either talk to me, watch a movie, eat with me or whatever. He's always there. I would never say that in my life he doesn't support me. The two of you is the full package on what I need to feel loved and cared for.
So now we are moving on to part 3, which is a shared discussion about building a foundation. So let's talk about the origins and mission. Suzie Eaglesflight, what inspired you to start Lupus South Africa and be part of Andrea's Gift Foundation?
Like I said previously, it was that feeling of I was totally unknown and nobody understand. I was so confused, and that's why I wanted to start a foundation so that other lupus patients do not feel the same as I did. That loneliness, that stress, that confusion, that there is an organization where they can go to and receive that with. So I started in 2005. And then in 2018, Una van Rijn also contacted me, and we basically started, working together, having me on their board, and then taking hands and walking together. It's, the thing is it's not about Andrea's Gift and it's not about Lupus South Africa. It's about what can we do for the lupus community, because lupus is not worried about the two foundation who does what. The thing is we must get people to be able to live with lupus and live beyond lupus. And the only thing is, the one foundation does this and the other one do this we do together, that we've basically been so cross-pollinating that we are together. It's like, for example, they say 2 foundation, 1 mission. And what's the mission? To help lupus people live better, which is a mission of Andrea's Gift also, is awareness, support, and education. Is create awareness on what lupus is, support the lupus warrior and their families, and the education, where Lupus South Africa comes in with creating resources on your YouTube channel, on our socials, on what lupus is like, what you must eat, what you must do, what are the symptoms and things like that. It's all covered on the resources. And where Lupus South Africa is lobbying for new medication to be registered in South Africa. So in Andrea's Gift and Lupus South Africa, it's basically, it's not this one does that and that one does that. We basically 2 foundations, 1 mission. We want to work together on everything that we do. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and the second question is, how did you come up with the name and what does the foundation represent to you?
In actual fact, in the beginning, it was called Eaglesflight Ministry. So you'll see the Eaglesflight Ministries here and there. And then later it became Lupus South Africa. I mean, it's basically because of other countries. They have Lupus UK, Lupus Europe, Lupus Foundation of America. They named the country and Lupus, so that's basically why it became Lupus South Africa. Andrea's Gift was the name came from and Andrew losing their daughter to lupus in 2018, and her name was Andrea. That's why it's Andrea's Gift, because in the beginning they gave a hospital bag to lupus patients when visiting lupus patients, and then that little bag became the gift. So that's why it was Andrea's Gift. But it's a whole huge organization now. It's not just doing hospital visits, although it is the heart of Andrea's Gift. It's not the only thing we do.
Not at all. And also, it was Andrea, before Andrea died, it was her dream to then one day be able to start a foundation and give these gifts to the lupus patients in hospitals. So
and that's when
and Andrew just carried on.
Yes.
Rolled out that legacy for her.
Jade, how has watching your mom lead a foundation impacted you?
Okay, so my mom is an absolute star. I mean, I've witnessed your leadership firsthand, not only with Lupus South Africa and joining Andrea's Gift Foundation, but also in your business back in South Africa. I know you lead with a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of passion, and a lot of strength. And no matter what you're going through or what you're feeling, you always show up. It's irritating sometimes because I'm like, don't you not feel good? Spare my feelings and go rest. Don't make me stress. You are extremely motivated, and like I said, you just show up, and that's a huge example to me and to many others as well that you've led. And I can't think, of a foundation with a better leader, to be honest with you. And all this, despite having lupus, you do better you do better in leadership than people without lupus. And like I said, that's inspiring. And like I said earlier in the podcast, it sets a very high standard for me, which I'm grateful for, because it shows a lot of people what you can actually achieve. No matter what you're going through or what life throws at you, you can, and you've shown you can. And I'm so grateful that I have you as the example of what I strive to be.
What part of the work excites you or moves you most?
Definitely the result. There's nothing better than hearing how we help someone, whether it's connecting them to the right doctors or having them join support groups where they could find peers also with living with lupus or struggling with similar things, that they could find comfort or support through someone or us. And just knowing that we are able to help other lupus patients have a better quality of life. So what has been the biggest challenge running a lupus foundation?
It's basically, especially with lupus, there's two main things that we struggle with. First one is funding, and the second one is people. We don't have enough people. So funding, you need resources, you need funding, and as everybody knows, we have no funding, we receive no funding. We have to do everything that we need with ourselves, find income, and then also that's just for our day-to-day. Everything else that we do is not funded, and it's very important that if you want to run a foundation successfully, you'll need the funding to create resources, to get people to help you, everything from making a t-shirt to patient care on a Facebook group. You will need people to help you, and that's the biggest challenge all of us face during this foundation and the 20 years that I've been in it. That's the two greatest struggles that we have.
Yeah.
Can you share a story where you saw the foundations make a real difference?
Yeah, I can name hundreds of them. First of all, hospital patients receiving that hospital bag with the goodies inside. I mean, that's a real difference, and it is the heart of Andrew's gift. The smile that the book One Delay and the little hospital bag for teenagers and children, the smiles it creates from the lupus patients it really shows you make a huge difference. The appreciation a teenager has for being in a WhatsApp group or with other teenagers and belonging to our teens and teens, they're also appreciative of having a place to belong. There's some places where I've seen seen the actual difference that we made in lupus patients' lives, whether it's on a Facebook group or whether it's on a support group, whether it's at a meet and greet. All the differences and all that we can see a real difference that we physically make.
Yeah.
Those are the places that we can really see we make a difference.
Yeah.
So my final question to you is about the bigger picture. What are your dreams for the future of the two foundations?
I think, it's like we don't have these grandeur dreams. We want this huge organization. We want to have 1 million volunteers in South Africa. I think it comes to the basic principles that both of the organizations have, is to raise awareness, to give support to lupus patients and their families, and to educate people with lupus. And the backing to do it, the finances, to give the hospital bags, to create the resources, to be the support to the families. We want the funding and the resources we need to get to that place where we can do it in a greater scale than we have now. I don't think the basic thing is that what does it come down to? Taking care of the lupus patient.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes. And that is our dream. We want to, and our passion, you know?
Yeah.
We want to do that. That's what we want, yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. Okay. So how can listeners get involved, support the cause, or find help if they need it?
We have a website, which is andreasgiftfoundation.org. We have social website, Lupus South Africa, Andreas Gift, Andreas Gift Tweens and Teens, and Suzie Eaglesflight. You will also see the website and the telephone number on the screen below. Yeah, that's how they can get involved and get a hold of us.
Thank you for sharing this moment with us. If our story touched your heart, we hope you feel a little less lonely today.
To every lupus warrior and caregiver, your strength is real, your love matters, and your story is worth telling.
You can follow our journey, support our work, or reach out to us through Lupus South Africa and Andreas Gift Foundation. Links are in the show notes.
Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You're stronger than you know. With all our love.
Stay brave, stay beautiful,
and keep walking together. Sure. Bye-bye. Giving up is not an option.
Yeah.
That's it, no?
Uh-huh.
We both have slippers on.